Level 90, the Fires of Creation. Themis is pondering the road ahead. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The key ward of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, key wards are not only masters of interment, they can also bend the hallways of Pandæmonium to their will with creation magics. With all this in mind, I'm certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. I can see why absolute control over the environs is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of the waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is as capable and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has, like as not, taken your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to the Abyssos if hard-pressed. Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, and we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix last I checked. Phoenix? I have heard the name before. A fiery bird with life eternal. It sounds awfully familiar, though spelled differently. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfect concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the back of failure, however, and La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix will be but one of many attempts at the concept going awry. Aye, far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus it was confined within Pandæmonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandæmonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the words of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing, we must make ready to confront this Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandæmonium, we would make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphodelos' most unruly subject to heel. Certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in a barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. Yeah. Oh, what? Seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Possible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. Phoenix. Quest accepted. Asphodelos, the third circle, now accessible. Duty Finder is updated with a new regular duty. Level 90, Asphodelos, the third circle. Having successfully subdued the Hippocampos, your group sets out to find Erichthonius' fellow warders, presumed to be hiding in the deepest circles of Asphodelos. Standing in your way, however, is the Phoenix, a violent, failed iteration of the iconic immortal bird. Soars through the halls warped by creation magics into an arid, desolate wasteland. Its perfect choice of battlefield, awaiting any foolish enough to venture into its newfound domain. Level 90, Asphodelos, the third circle. Commence. These are popping pretty quick. That's nice. Probably because it's the current. People are trying to get stuff done before Dawn Trail. World Unsundered, Asphodelos, the third circle. Hello, friends. Mythic creation, the Phoenix. Phoenix. Experimental fire plume. So far, so good. At least I'm with people who seem to know what they're doing. I just follow along with what they're doing. We should be fine, theoretically. Okay, you take the circles to the things. We're supposed to be taking these out. Left. His left or my left? Get enough of those. Turning rain. How are we supposed to attack these? Not let this stuff overlap, I guess. Okay, that raid wide didn't do too much. Is right. What do those do? Okay, get it now. Following brain. Matter which ones we stand in between. They just grow. Yep, fix the damage on that one. Yay, okay. That's pretty fun. Inter. Gotta catch them all. Dun, 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 dun. Yay, okay. They're coming down. Oop. E. E. Hey. Far so good. With that, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person, Asphodelos, with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Keyword Hesperos, why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandæmonium? Pandæmonium, pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, unlike those charged with its keeping. It has possessed you, I don't understand. Oh, Ericthonius, must you pester me with these inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why Master La Habrea suffers your mediocrity, I shall never understand. You may look at him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you, too, from the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You proved my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential, to be son to Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. His son, oh? Really? But of course, it's always about La Habrea. I mean, La Habrea is just a title, though, right? Silence, you are not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities, beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a Emithios shall I serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful until the end of days. Trying to bind us? And he shall require no other. I think not. Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Ericthonius is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Silly, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly, to say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beast of Asphodelos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. Doom, 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 doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Ericthonios. Even dullards have their uses. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Ericthonius worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be death knell for his resolve. Level 90, the Fires of Creation. complete. Level 90. Who wards the warders? Themis would offer what comfort he can to Erechthonius. Much as I am loath to disturb Erechthonius so soon after what just occurred, I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the key ward and his father. Daddy issues. Creation of the ward which surrounds Pandæmonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. Both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I'm La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Hey, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood, assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long. It had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. It was La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. You did speak of Athena, chief key ward before La Habrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You've the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. I see. There's little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief key ward when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. And La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? I see. She is no longer with us, an expression to convey the end of a life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand after all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. Now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing, quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations, in another moment, Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment? In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to confine him after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put La Habrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous pop. La Habrea is the chief key ward of Pandæmonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I want answers too. If you fail to confine him, I can always strike him down. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Erechthonius' plan. Thank you. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of the Vrykolakus, a beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence. We know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Asphodelos, the fourth circle, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Yay. Level 90, Asphodelos, the fourth circle. The perpetrator of the chaos in Asphodelos is revealed to be none other than its keyword, Hesperos. Once known for his kindness to both warders and captives alike, he now appears before you as an amalgamation of mythic beast and man, a Himitheos. Drunk with devotion to La Habrea and dripping venom for Erchthonius, Asphodelos' keeper may too be its most fearsome creation. Let's go. Level 90, Asphodelos, the fourth circle. Immense. About 10 minutes. Not too bad. It was definitely a lot longer than the other three took. World Unsundered, Asphodelos, the fourth circle. Friends. Himitheos, Hesperos. The Himitheos. I don't know. A couple of first timers besides me. The hell is that? I'm supposed to stand near that, I assume. Oh, that killed me. Well, that's the first one we've died to so far. Who knows what we're supposed to be doing? Who do I follow? I need more magic. Okay. That one killed me last time. I don't know what this one does. Okay, spread out. Just stay away from me, we'll be fine. This is a knockback, right? Blood Great. Can't attack? Oh no, DPS. Put that on. Okay. Easterly shift. Okay. Oh. Okay. That didn't do what the last one did. Oh, man. This is not going nearly as well as the other ones did. I thought he would just do the same thing in a different direction, but apparently he does different things in each direction. Yeah. Not a first timers. Where the hell are we supposed to go? Okay, healers and tanks are supposed to absorb, or does that mean they're not supposed to? I'm used to following people, but nobody seems to know what they're doing. Okay, I don't know what that fourth one is. Okay, this is the one that we gotta spread out. Right. I can't hit him here. Okay, this one just shoves us back. Stack, okay. I mean, what are the, oh, it got me. I was running from it. What are the X's? Am I getting in the wrong ones? Am I supposed to be in like one of the other ones? Oh, Revasol. That's 3 deaths. That makes up for all the ones I didn't die on, I suppose. Yeah, we're doing it blind like we always do. Am I not supposed to... Am I supposed to hit one that's not mine? Okay, yeah, okay, so we're supposed to hit the other ones. Oh, that pushed me all the way here? I stood kind of at a corner just in case. Yeah, well. Starting to get the hang of it. So it looks like East and West as an AoE. Well, they haven't had a West yet, and North and South do the pushback. I had Surecast. I could have just done that. Achievement unlocked. Could be worse one. Pandæmonium Asphodelos complete. Well, that certainly could have gone better. I'll give it to the samurai. Oh, I need this. Menu. I got it. Yay. Not to say we couldn't possibly get it later, but nice to get it now. All right. Now, Themis, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than mere nuisance. By your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You are wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, my repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. The star shone more brightly than any other in Pandæmonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? You would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos's infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La Habrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power, power that La Habrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warps one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. Not as uncommon as you might think. It happens, but that doesn't mean it's right. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true, how it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we have spent enough time assuming the attentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? What is this presence? Ericthonius, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. A warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to appraise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandæmonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? There's a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It's possible that this same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments, for more potential Emethioi. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues are doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Ericthonius. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was long and taxing one. If he was the first Emethios, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandæmonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles and thus can wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that, then nothing's stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just so, I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement. However, you are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed, even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandæmonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with utmost caution. To that end, Ericthonius and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis's burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would hope wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far, elsewise we would have likely succumbed to the Hippocampos's assault. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandæmonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Zilia a rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress. Yes, I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. So we're going back to Aporia. Okay. Welcome. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So what did you find? So there is evil afoot in Pandæmonium, an already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beast and missing warders. Truly we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears the voice Zilly heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery with the help of Zilly, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, and yet she returns to the same present she left. It can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandæmonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There's no telling what consequences would arise if we stop pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandæmonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beast that arose during the final days. First final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I've asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandæmonium? Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time, and as matters in Elpis seem to be in similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Mylene is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras and would give you goods in return that should aid you in trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, Gigi has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. Since that we have embarked upon something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there is anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of the crystal, and you will be the first to know when we do. Level 90. Who wards the warder?